Welcome back. Today we're talking about logic. And no, this isn't about some dusty old textbook. We're talking about a powerful, practical tool that you can use every single day to think more clearly and, honestly, just make more sense. So let's open up this mental toolkit and see what's inside.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're in a debate, you know you're right, but the conversation just goes in circles and you walk away feeling totally frustrated. It's like you're speaking a completely different language. But what if there was a way to cut right through all that noise?
Well, that's exactly where this mental toolkit comes in. We're going to build a really simple framework for clearer thinking. And hey, this isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about confidently navigating that flood of information and discussions we all face every single day.
I love this quote from Dr. Samuel Johnson because it just nails our goal today. Our feelings, our imagination, they're wonderful companions on our journey, for sure. But when it comes down to figuring out what's actually true, reason has to be our guide. It's the most reliable compass we have.
So, the first and, I'd say, most important tool in our kit is a deep respect for reality. All clear thinking has to be built on solid ground. And you know what that ground is made of? Facts. Before we can even begin to form opinions or build arguments, we have to start with what is.
Okay, so let's trace this path to a clear idea. It all starts with number one, an objective fact, something that just exists out there in the world. Then, at number two, our mind forms a subjective idea about it, kind of like a mental picture of that fact. And finally, number three, we use a word to communicate that idea to someone else. Now, if that chain breaks anywhere, if our words don't match our idea, or if our idea doesn't match the actual fact, well, that's when communication totally falls apart.
And this brings us to a really key distinction. On one side, you've got objective facts. Think of the White House. It's public, it's verifiable, anyone can go look it up or see it. But on the other side, we have subjective facts, like a headache. It's definitely real to you, but it's a private experience. Now, for a really strong argument, we have to build our case on that first kind, the objective stuff that we can all point to and agree on.
So once we have our facts straight, what's next? Well, that brings us to our second foundation, building solid arguments. And I want to be really clear about this. The goal here isn't about winning or crushing an opponent. It's about getting closer to the truth.
And this distinction is so important. An argument, a real one, is like a team effort to figure something out. A quarrel, that's just a fight. It's about getting at other people. So next time you feel a discussion getting a little heated, just ask yourself, are we actually arguing here? Or are we just quarreling? The difference is everything.
You see, every real argument has a foundation, and that foundation is called the premise. It's your evidence, your reason. It's the because part of your sentence. It's the statement you offer up as proof for your main point. And if the premise is the foundation, then the conclusion is the structure you're building on top of it. It's the whole point you're trying to make, the therefore that logically follows from your evidence. A solid argument is just one where that conclusion flows, without a doubt, from a true premise. Simple as that.
Okay, so we know how to build a good argument, but it's just as important to learn how to spot a bad one. And bad arguments often rely on what are called fallacies. They're basically common errors in reasoning. Think of them like little traps designed to derail a logical discussion. Let's look at a few you are definitely going to recognize.
First up, we have the straw man. This is a classic. Instead of dealing with someone's actual argument, you invent a weaker, distorted version of it, a straw man, and then you knock that down instead. So if someone says, hey, maybe we should regulate this industry a bit more, and the other person fires back, so you just want to destroy the entire economy? That's a straw man. It's easy to fight, but it doesn't prove anything about the real point.
Next up is the ad hominem, which is just Latin for to the person. This is a total diversion tactic. When you can't attack the idea, you attack the person who said it. You hear it all the time, right? Oh, you can't trust his plan for the city. Have you seen the car he drives? It's a classic sign of a weak position because it has nothing to do with the actual argument.
Ah, the false dilemma. This one tries to back you into a corner. It takes a really complex issue and pretends there are only two simple either-or choices. But the world is rarely that black and white, is it? The classic example is right there. You're either with us or you're against us. This tactic completely shuts down any kind of nuanced discussion by pretending other options don't even exist. And last but not least, we've got a fancy Latin one, post hoc ergo propter hoc. All it means is after this, therefore because of this.
This is the whole reason we say correlation does not equal causation. Maybe you wore your lucky socks and your team won. Did the socks cause the win? Probably not. Our brains are wired to see patterns, but this kind of thinking is a trap we have to consciously avoid.
So, there you have it, a few essential tools for your mental toolkit. And listen, this is not just some academic exercise. This is all about putting these principles into practice, in your conversations, in the news you read, the shows you watch, and yeah, even in your own thinking.
All right, let's do a quick recap of our toolkit. Number 1, get your facts straight. You got to ground your ideas in objective reality. 2, build sound arguments. Make sure you're moving from a clear premise to a solid conclusion. 3, learn to spot those illogical traps, the fallacies. And finally, number 4, and this is the big one, always seek truth, not victory. The goal is to understand, not just to win. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you know what to look for, which of these illogical traps do you see most often? In the news? On social media? Maybe even in your own conversations with family and friends? Because once you start noticing them, you really can't unsee them. And that, right there, is the first huge step to becoming a clearer thinker. Thanks for tuning in.